Have you ever found yourself in the middle of the meeting and you have no idea what they're talking about, or you basically mentally checked out from somewhere and you have to quickly pick up the meeting and all of a sudden they ask you to speak or ask you to they give you the feedback and you have no idea what you're going to talk about. We've been all there, right? So today's app I'm going to introduce you is the lifesaver for that type of person, including myself. And so that's called Hedy. So it's basically the AI app. You can record the meeting, the simultaneously it summarize the meeting, and you can interact the meeting. And at the end, it gives you a transcription. So this is Hedy. So let me introduce you. So who is it for, right? So basically, so this is for business professional and recruiters and hiring managers, HR person, and international teams. That's great. And a journalist and patient and the students. Students for college, high school, and so forth, right? Okay, first thing, you might want to download the app. So because it works only in the app, not in the browser, at least yet. So for iPhone, you can download this. You can click here to open your app store and download. Again, it's 4.7 ratings, so it's pretty good, right? So you can just click this to download on your Mac. So after you install and launch the app, this is how it's gonna look like. So this is very simple. There's only like a 5 menus on the side. So the chat feature is great because when you start a meeting, you can interact the app, interact the AI in the middle of the meeting. Hey, what they're talking about, or something like that. So let me explain the settings. So the session is your basically archive. So you use the your past meetings. You can access anytime. The meeting the information is stored on their cloud, so and you can check it from their website as well. And topics, I haven't explored topics yet, so I cannot talk about. So, and the meetings settings, that's the one of the cool part. So the session type, right now they're offering these. So if you are sitting in the business meetings expecting a couple people, this is the great settings. So if you're solo brainstorming, that means it's just like taking your journal or brainstorming some ideas. You can just turn this on, turn Hedy on, just click this button over here, start session, and start saying random things. Then they basically Hedy organize the thoughts for you. And journalism, again, it's kind of same concept. You basically doing the research and you can talk to this AI, just turn it on and you organize your thoughts and your research for you. And recruitment, this is when you are, let's say, hiring manager, or if you're interviewing possible, the candidates, you can have it and you can ask questions and their response will be recorded too. So later you can review. Of course, anything you choose when you start session, it's gonna record the whole thing. So you have to consent the whoever participating in that meeting. It's gonna be recording, right? Now, lecture and class is awesome too. So if you're a student, you can record the class. So and basically you can take notes or AI take notes for you. And a medical consultation, same thing. Like if you're using iPhone, you can boot up this app and just turn on and talk to the health professionals, and maybe AI can digest the information better, right? The personal conversation too, and coaching and mentoring. So this is just how when you set these meetings on particular type, the Hedy basically optimize the listening behavior or summarize behavior for you. So that's all. If you accidentally set something else, it still works, but it's just better to choose the type to start with. And microphone settings by default, I think I use this frequently. And most of the time, I carry my laptop and then open the laptop and just turn on. No external, no microphone. I just use my built-in microphone and it works fine. Same thing, like on your iPhone, you can just turn it on and put on the table. That works fine too. So it's pretty good, decent. Again, you're not looking for audio quality. You are because AI is transcribing your audio into the text. So you just review the text, right? So you can listen what is being recorded later, but I guess it's not the primary use for this app. So save all session audio, yeah, this is it. So if you don't want to, you can just turn off. So it doesn't actually store actual recording, but it still it keeps transcribed text though. And this is new feature. So right now it's limited for first 30 minutes of each session. So that means I think it's at how it works up to 30 minutes pretty much. So this means so in the middle of the meeting, let's say if you go into the marketing meeting and you can just start recording, right? Then in the middle of the middle of the meeting, if something is missing, AI basically the Hedy suggests you, hey, what about the budget? Or when it's gonna be the end of the date, or important questions you might want to ask it to complete kind of that meeting, right? So that's the kind of suggestion. So by looking at this, that makes you smarter, right? So I am excited to use this feature. And the suggestion frequency too. You can set the balance, selective, and frequent. Frequent, AI kind of, hey, you should ask this kind of. It's more like a, aggressive assistant, you know. And the custom vocabulary, let's say if you're in a particular niche or industry and there's a term, has specific, a term, right? You can set up to 100. So you can import or you can put this. So otherwise, the AI is just a simple listening device. So when they listen, then transcribe that term doesn't translate or transcribed not properly. So you can set here. And also you can set the custom prompt. So in the middle of the meeting, if you need to execute some the prompt to ask questions, you can set that. So you don't have to write every time. And this session context is a great feature. I like this. So this is more like a custom prompt for your ChatGPT, basically. So it's almost like a GPT, right? So if you have like a regular meetings, monthly meetings, weekly meetings, and so forth, and the context of the meeting and the concept of the meeting or the goal, and also who is attending and who is doing what in that meeting, right? You can write those instructions in here. So what I do is usually I put the description of the company and the client and who is gonna speaking. So me, and if it's just another person, so who is this person? Whose name and background and who is in charge. So if it's like a manager or maybe a CEO, and the you can put like what he cares, what she cares, or so forth. So the AI is kind of listens to that point. So And the great feature of this is, let's say if you have like a multiple people meetings, right? Let's say if you have like five people, and I think the the listening part doesn't differentiate the who is speaking by the vocal. I'm not sure. I cannot just don't count on me though. But based on the descriptions you give in this the session context, AI figured that out. Oh, okay. So this person is talking about this, so must be Jim or must be Tom or something like that. So let's say if you are say you say for example, right? You put in this custom context, session context. So for example, in this session context, the company A, you have someone called Charles. Then Charles is a HR person. So he is always recruiting new people and, have like HR issues within the company. So you basically describe this in the session context, right? So when meeting happens, even if Charles doesn't introduce himself, oh, I'm Charles, well, everybody knows that. So, but by the topics he's talking about, the Hedy basically organized. Oh, this must be Charles. So you put the Hedy basically connects the dots, and in the transcription, you can say, Charles said this and that. So this is really smart in a way. So that's the feature I like. And one other settings is up settings. So if you go up settings and the meeting and the class language, this is your primary language for the conversation that Hedy will joining. Just so you said, right? So every the Hedy you can use more than 30 language, but the language you set here, it kind of decides what language do you want to be provided. So any meeting summaries and interaction of the chat here will be this language. So for example, like if I have a Japanese meeting, so the whole conversation happens in Japanese. But if I set this language in English, so transcription is still in Japanese, but a summary and the key points and those AI generated contents will be all English translated. So this is a great feature. Let's say if you have to attend the meeting in the language you are not so confident yet, that's awesome feature. So the Hedy chat is during the meeting, you can ask the AI, hey, what they are talking about if you're not sure about the topic or certain things you missed. Say in the middle of the meeting, you stepped out for the pick up the phone or maybe go to the restroom or something. So when you come back, you don't know what they have been talking for the last 5 minutes, right? So you can ask, hey, what they're talking about last 5 minutes. You can ask that too. That's cool, right? So that's pretty much what you set out. That's pretty much the settings. So now let me show you how to use it. It's really simple. When you boot, so most of the time you go into the meeting, you just launch the app, then just hit this button, start session. And then quickly set, or this is said basically saying that the audio is on, so you should always consent, hey, this meeting will be recorded. So just to let you know, that's it, right? Then just the session type, just quickly choose the session type and what the language. So you can choose language, right? So one thing, the developer of the app, if you're watching this, every time for example, my language is either Japanese or English, so I have to kind of scroll down and choose the language I have to find this. So please make it like I can choose the order of the language, or maybe I can set my preferred language up to 3 or something. That'd be a great feature. And select context profile. So if you already made context, so you can just choose and go. That's it. So we just hit this, start listening. So it's session active. So this is the green, right? And you can see when you talk something, this waveform happens. So you know it's recorded. This is a relatively new feature. I think the previous the version, it didn't have that. So I wasn't sure if I know it's green, that's mean active, but I wasn't sure if it's really listening or I don't want to miss this type of thing. So, but now it's a much better UI in a way. So that's it. So when you start in a session, if it's active, you can interact with the chat. So if it's not active, this message section doesn't pop up. So you can start asking what he's talking about. For example, I'm obviously talking about the Hedy AI, right? So I'm just trying to teach my AI, right? So I'm talking about the features of Hedy AIs, such as you can do listening and organize a meeting. It's like a personal AI assistant for you. Then I ask a question. So what is this meeting about? And a question. So you can ask questions like that, then you can get the answers, right? So that's a neat feature. I like that too. And if you go sessions, you can access to all the past sessions too. So it's currently in session, right? So, and if you finished, all you have to do is just click this button. By the way, you can pause as well. When you click this window pops up and you can end the meeting, or you can pause it. So let's say the meeting have like a 5 minutes break, coffee break, you can just pause it and come back and you can resume too. And if this was a mistake, just continue through. Just nothing happened. And you can delete this too. Like this meeting never happens, just delete it. You can do that too. So at the end of the meeting, all you have to do is this button. Then start generating summary and compressing audio. This part is very quick. So most of the time, because it's processing while in the meeting, let's say if I do like a 1 hour meeting, maybe about 5 minutes, it just I can get the transcription and summarize. And I just recorded like 3 minutes. It just happened, like a minute, right? So when you go, you see summary. So that's nice, right? And a key points organized and a to-do. So of course I didn't talk about much, but if actually in the actual meeting you talk about, hey, okay, the next week let's do this, and by Friday we're gonna send the emails and stuff. So based on that conversation, it creates a to-do list for you, and you can export as a text or share as a markdown as well. And the detail notes, discussion points, and lots of it is including your session context too. So in the chat, and the transcription is actual, what I'm talking about, right? So in this, the transcript, you can see later if there's a multiple person involved, you said, hey, the Thomas said something, or the Chris said something. You can see that too. That's pretty much it. It's a very simple app, but it's very powerful. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I think, and a great feature also for the pro account is API access. So through API, you can hook up with different app and automatically send your to-do list or so forth. So that's awesome app. Okay, the last part I'm gonna explain about the pricing. So right now they have a free account. So up to 5 hours per month, it's free. So it's awesome, right? So if you have meeting maybe 1 hour meeting uh, per week, this is great just to use it for free. And if you actually like to use like API and other session context features, go to paid account. And pro account is $70 per year or $10 a month. So if you want to pay yearly, you can save it, and that's great too. And if you see it, oh, I can easily use for 3 years or so, just to get it lifetime and use it for basically forever. Well, of course, right now you never know when is better app comes in next year or not. But if you know, have meetings frequently, and this pays off really quickly. So this is it. I hope this video helped you. So if you like this video, please give me a like. And if you'd like to see more contents like this, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.